Face reality, people. Movies are dead. Games are dead. Narrative? Dead.
Media is nothing but neural trigger response and viral conditioning.
Wait, what are you two talking about?
All right. Another reaction. This time, Nerdrotic and whoever these other people are reacting to Dune Part 2, a movie that I'd proclaimed as not a masterpiece, but I think people are upset that I didn't name it a masterpiece. Maybe. Like they're trying to like rationalize it, but it's just not working out. It's not working out too well. But whatever. All right, let's hear what the culture warriors have to say about this movie. Here we go.
Spoiler free, by the way. This is gonna be spoiler free.
Okay, spoiler free.
Yeah, spoiler free. I'm also gonna. Here's a spoiler for you. I'm gonna be eating food while this all goes down, and just expect mumbling. Here we go.
I'm in two minds about the film. Right? There's the film fan, and I'll say this: like, I am a fan of cinema.
Oh, love it.
And then I love literature. Okay, when I first read Dune when I was 14 years old, perfect age to read it.
That's not a good sign.
Character's 15 in the book.
Is that a good sign?
No, it's not a good sign.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
movie by not talking about the movie.
Yeah, they're gonna talk about the movie. They're not gonna tell you what happens in the movie, but they're gonna talk about it.
all right. Well, them saying 14 years old is the perfect age for this. Maybe the book, maybe. But
Yeah, that's what we meant. The book.
I don't know. All right, here we go.
Fell in love with that book. It changed my life. It blew my mind. I read through God Emperor in high school and just loved the Dune series. So I'm in two minds about it. And then when I saw the David Lynch Dune 1984, which I was right out of high school, it disappointed me so much.
Is he a hair copy of David Lynch?
And it's
Whatever.
barely the cliff notes of the book. It disappointed me so much. I was
Full
so
screen us.
angry
My bad.
about it. It led to me doing the first issue of Film.
Is that David Lynch, bro?
In February 1985.
Oh,
and I
David.
put a parody of Dune on the cover.
Look at that hair,
because I
bro.
was so
It's David
angry
Lynch.
that my favorite director, David Lynch, had
Yeah,
ruined
you copied his
Yeah,
hair, bro.
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
Frank.
you
What
did
the fuck? All right, that's fucked up. I'm sorry. That's funny though. Like he copied his hairstyle. Like kind of look like him a little bit. Face too. But whatever. Here we go.
Agree about it. It led to me doing the first issue of Film Threat, which came out in February 1985, and I put a parody of Dune on the cover because I was so angry that my favorite director, David Lynch, had ruined my favorite book. So at the time, now I've since come to appreciate and love that movie for what it is. There's better versions. There's of course the Sci-Fi Channel series, which I have the Blu-ray here, right there.
Oh,
Yeah, I
sci-fi.
like that.
Oh.
It's okay.
It's
It's
okay.
obviously anemic in terms of the effects, but there's some good performances. William Hurt, the actor who played the Baron. So I've been waiting for this movie for a long time, and I'm like I say, I'm more of a cinema guy than a literature guy, but Dune is special to me. And to finally see the tone of Dune, the tone of the book captured is really what this film does, and the spectacle. And if you see it in IMAX, which I had an opportunity to do on Sunday, holy S, it is just epic spectacle. I have a
But you need a story
lot
for
of
your
nitpicks.
special
Yes,
effects,
I
right?
have a problem with one particular character, which I'm sure you have the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it is
Real quick.
Oh, wait till you hear Nerdrotic's problems. That's hilarious.
That's got to be Zendaya, right? That's their problem.
know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Spoiler free.
Maybe not.
All right, here we go.
a very good beginning into Dune. And what it does is, God, some of the, riding the worm, the spice harvesters,
Riding the
it's
worm.
an ensemble film, right? So Paul Atreides, yes, he's the lead. There's no girl boss stuff in this, but it's an ensemble with great actors, and it's epic.
Ride that
and scary.
worm.
We haven't seen a movie like this in so long. not since Lord of the Rings, and it's not
The
better
Bene,
than the Two Towers.
the
Not
Bene
better.
Gesserits are girl bosses, but they're evil. They're fucking evil.
They're evil. They're
First thing I would do if I was a leader is kill the Bene Gesserits.
Right.
Fucking-
Like they're too manipulative, but
Yeah.
they're accurate to the book. You know, this
Yep.
is
Is that a
accurate to the book.
Freudian like
So
thing?
I'll
was that?
accept that. So I'm in.
All right. So what I'm hearing so far is about the spectacle of it. Once again, which means just special effects and cinematography and all that shit. And you know, the score will probably add to that. There's actually like a stolen. It sounds like it's the Bane theme from Dark Knight Rises. Actually, in that movie, I kind of left that alone in my review. I'm like, it's kind of over nitpicking. But why do all these things sound the same? Like, it's like, okay. But all right, I'll shut up. Sorry. There you go.
Like they're too manipulative, but they're accurate to the book. You know, this is accurate to the book. So
what?
I'll accept that. So I'm in two minds. But here's what it does: it raises the bar.
So he's saying it's not.
Raises the bar. Now I've seen
because-
it twice. I'm going to see it a third time.
What was that?
So he's saying that, like, okay, you can't count that as woke. That's what he's saying.
Got
It
it.
was written before wokeness.
Loyal to the books.
Whatever that means.
What if the books suck ass? What if you at 14 years old had a bad, cultural sense of film? Like to where older you'd be like, I can't quite watch Power Rangers anymore.
I don't think that question's ever asked when it comes to comics. When it comes to comics, I think that question's not even on the table.
The key word to me in that is that, but it's true to the book. So that's the justification. Like, if it wasn't for that, that's not good. But since it was the book, it is.
Got it. Well, the first hour and a half of that fucking book sucks ass, bro. There's plot holes. It's riddled the first hour and a half. Even the biggest fan of Dune has to admit that. The first hour and a half, they skip past shit. Why does she like him again? Who cares? He achieves these little deeds and shit like that. Thus, we have to just assume that these characters fall in love because of that. Like, no, he should have some sort of other traits to him, like human traits to him that are like likable to another human being. It's just skipped over for fucking. Hey, I dunked the basketball. Oh my god, I love you. Like that type of shit. Just my opinion. People disagree with me, but whatever.
It was such a garbage movie. His description of his childhood is a better story than that movie.
Please, Jesse. Please, Jesse. Wait, what did Jesse say? What did he say?
Like, his description right now, so far, what we watched is a better story than that movie.
Oh yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. Let him keep telling his story. Watch, keep listening. They start getting into other things, bro. They start like with, where does this movie stand in all time as far as sci-fi films?
Okay.
And we're gonna. That's what.
Okay, that was the other thing. He skipped over. He went from where'd he go from? It was what was it, the sci-fi movie he named? And he skipped over like years and years of movies to get to now. Like, this is the best movie since, and it's some movie from like the 90s or some shit like that. Am I tripping?
Oh no, but I mean like science in the science fiction genre of movies. They're gonna start ranking.
He said
like
He said Lord of the Rings is like an epic movie. Okay.
Yeah, you'll see.
I mean, for nerddom, sure. All right, here we go. I'm too hungry, guys. I gotta
They're
eat.
evil. They're fucking evil.
They're evil.
First thing I would do if I was a leader is kill the Bene Gesserits.
Right. Like they're too manipulative, but they're accurate to the book. You know, this is accurate to the book. So I'll accept that. So I'm in two minds. But here's what it does: it raises the bar. It raises the bar. Now I've seen it twice. I'm going to see it a third time.
Is what bar?
It has to be seen on the big screen. It's got to be seen on the big screen. If you can, be sure to see it in IMAX.
Yeah.
At the very least, if you can do that. And there,
That
His
says
bar,
nothing about how good a movie is. Go ahead, Jesse. I'm sorry.
yeah, his bar was that previous movie he didn't like. He said he didn't like it.
I
The
got
Dune 84.
a decent sample size of responses to my little Dune review. I didn't hear an argument of why I was wrong about that. It's like, it's an okay movie. I didn't hear a counter argument to that. I really didn't. I'm like, I assumed people are just like into the special effects, which is probably like, this is what this guy's kind of saying. It's his childhood dream come to life. Like, that's the appeal, as opposed to like, is it a good
It's
story?
Nerdrotic opinions I'm interested in.
Oh, fair enough, but I heard it. I have to say something. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Here we go.
there are tickets. Tickets are sold out through like 2 weeks from now. I'm trying to get tickets for just like an evening show.
I
and
think
the
you can
theater's packed.
get the like regular theaters, but good luck getting like the higher end theaters and the IMAX
Right.
theaters at this point. And
Yeah.
it's projected to have 170 million opening weekend worldwide. I think it'll be above that personally. I think it's going to be like 200 million.
I think they're underestimating it on purpose.
I think
but
they are too.
Yeah, all you guys are hyping it.
Whatever you thought about Dune Part 1, some
Oh,
people
yeah.
thought it was slow, not a lot happened, whatever. Look, that was all set up in world building.
I like Dune.
Now,
I like Dune 1 more.
World building, we've done the world building. Boom, we're gonna launch
I
right
did.
into it. And there's so many when I think about the things I loved about it, I really love the score. I think it's better than the first film. The Harkonnens are so Austin Butler is killing. Austin Butler makes Kylo Ren look like a bitch. He's so
All 15 minutes of them. The guy we saw for 15 minutes in a 2-hour 45-minute movie.
The ball guy, right?
They're all bald, I think. But
like the guy they want you to focus on.
Batista is the nephew of Stellan Skarsgård, right?
Yeah, and
Austin Butler is the other nephew who's like,
Yeah.
he usurps Batista.
Batista, yeah.
But he doesn't do enough for me to like. They do typical canned villain setup of, okay, our first introduction to him, he fucks somebody up, right? To make him like, oh my god, this guy's dangerous, like a fucking dreidel. Or, that's the word. What is it? Not dreidel. The shit hanging over the crib. They fucking dangle that in front of the audience. Like, duh. Oh, bad guy, get it? He's a badass. Look at him just psychopathically kill people. People were like, I kept hearing reviews were like, oh my god. And I think his name's like Fade Rock something. Whatever his name is. Like, oh my god, this guy is a psychopath. Guess what? They literally say that in the movie. I don't want it. Like, I think before we see him, even. Fucking, what's her name? The hot blonde chick. What's her name? The actress. Whatever. The Emperor.
Florence Pugh?
Florence Pugh, yeah. The Emperor's daughter is like, this guy's a psycho. He's psychotic. And then all of a sudden I hear people repeating that. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck am I living in, bro? Whatever. Don't worry, I'm an idiot. I don't know shit about film. Let's keep it rolling. Here we go.
Austin Butler makes Kylo Ren look like a bitch. He's
Wow,
so
he outdid Kylo Ren. Holy
right-handed
shit.
in the sense that like if you just pulled out and showed more, it's gruesome. A lot of the
They didn't show much of that guy.
It's a lot of things that are suggested.
Yeah, they covered up a lot of the. Even if it was in black and white, I think they could have done it. But they wanted to keep that PG-13. God, PG-13 is so pussy compared to what I was watching. Like fucking Naked Guns PG-13, and there's like nudity in the credits. There's like I'm like
Right.
those are the days. Remember PG? There was PG boobs in air.
This guy's an idiot. It's the exact opposite. It is the exact opposite. Things have loosened up for what we call PG-13, not the other way around. Not Naked Gun, a little slapstick fucking comedy, bro. He's an idiot, bro. Who let this guy in here, bro? He's full of shit. The movie rating system, especially like from 80s to 90s, like all right, a cap kind of came off to where things started getting more liberal as time went by. But to him to say like, man, back in the day it was just so much more freedom of film, like bull fucking shit. He's lying to his audience. He doesn't know. I don't know if he's lying. He doesn't know, though. Sorry, I'm eating food. What am I talking
No
for?
boobs
Yeah.
and not enough boobs in the story.
Got it. Meanwhile, a dude in Scary Movie, like, semen spraying someone on the ceiling, bro. Hey, come on. Not be stupid here. Alright, here we go.
Fucking Naked Guns PG-13, and there's like nudity in the credits. There's like, I'm like,
Right.
In Major League, when they're, like, showing, like,
PG, there was PG
boobs with a
in
tassel on it.
Airplane.
Yeah. But but first of all, okay, I love the film as a film. As a fan of the books, and this is my question to you, Gary. I like it less. They cut out things. I don't want to say spoiler stuff, so no spoilers. But they cut out a lot of stuff from the book that was even in the David Lynch movie. It's
Yes.
not in there. So a lot of things were excised. Chani as a character is completely
That's
different.
Zendaya.
They made her a skeptic. They are star-crossed lovers like Romeo and Juliet. And in the movie, and I hate the last shot of this film. I hate it. I think it's so lame.
That's
So
dude.
it bugged me so much. Like, what? It kind of bookends, the beginning of the first movie is
There's gonna be people who are gonna argue with me on that. That was modernism creeping in. That was
you're not
modernism.
modernity creeping in. That would be my only nitpick of it.
Yeah, that part, it was
Some guy who apparently just found film 10 years ago is now telling us about the genres of in the eras of film, bro. I'm wrecked. Sorry, not supposed to be talking.
I think he's calling modernism like new stuff. Like he's not. I don't think he's using the word intentionally because modernism is old, right? Like that's. I don't know. I don't think he knows what he's talking about.
I don't think
He's
so either.
using it for, yeah, he's using it for like, hey, that's the new. Like I think he's just using it for like woke stuff, or like.
Okay, fair enough. He'd have to sit down and define it to me, but right now, as far as modernism, I look at it like, oh, you mean the last 10 years? Tops the last 10 years. Like I would say, like modern filmmaking, like that's like 90s to now. I don't know. But I guess you have to include all like the Marvel Universe things, and whatever. Put up again. Here we go.
That would be my only nitpick of it.
Yeah, that part, it was just like, it's the very end that bugs me. But I'll just ask.
I actually think you're right, Jesse. Modernism
Lord of
means
the Rings is probably the
dark skin chick.
I don't think they're comparable. They're two different things. I guess you could compare
They're not
them
in the same universe. Stop.
different things. Fantasy. This one's science
But
fiction.
like quality-wise, they're not even comparable. They're not.
Right.
They're just not.
But
They're really good for now. They're really, really fucking good.
Oh yeah, I'm just feasting off that shit.
I think people would enjoy them, but if you're gonna tell me that people are gonna be watching Dune and doing Dune rewatches and just look how much people talk about Lord of the Rings every fucking day on Twitter, like every day. It's not even the same. Still really fucking good though.
I think that's a lot of nerddom. To be honest with you, those are good movies. I enjoy the first three. I call them the first three. The Peter Jackson, I guess the first three Lord of the Rings movies, Return of the King, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers. They're not bad. I enjoy those. They're decent scores, so they're in like the 8s for me. But I mean, but the people who are still discussing it on Twitter are probably like nerd fanboys, bro. Let's be honest. They cosplay as these guys and shit like that, bro, on the weekends. So it's like, do we count them? I don't think we count them as in regards to this discussion. Just my faraway opinion.
You hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Well, he said it's the greatest trilogy in film.
He's trolling himself, but he's nerd fucking fantasy fucking leave my movies alone guy, right? Like, that makes sense. I mean, even though, well, I don't know how progressive is the Dark Knight trilogy. I don't know. It's a little bit more adult themed than maybe the Tolkien fucking fantasy world thing. I think The Dark Knight's a little bit more adult themed, and The Matrix is way more philosophically themed. Like it's just out the ass philosophy concepts and all that shit. And people don't want to, get into that. They'd rather just be more entertained than they want to like learn or think. It sounds like a humble brag thing, but actually, it's like you guys for your second and third movies need to add more movie to it and less preachy philosophy. If you wanted it to be like some sort of critical success, if you're like fuck it, I'm putting all these ideas and concepts in here. If you don't get it, fuck you. And I'm like, okay, I'm cool with that. 100% cool with that. It's creative, it's interesting, it's risk taking. I'm with it. But nerd fuck faces aren't gonna get shit like that. They're just gonna be like, oh, why, the one, what, Mr. Smith and what was this movie about again? They're not gonna keep up with shit like that. They're gonna be focused on the aesthetics, the action sequences. Is Neo a dumbed down hero character, or is he a messiah character? It's a mixture of whatever. Who cares? I think they did that actually in the Dune 2 movie, where they made Paul Atreides kind of at least in the first hour and a half, a dumbed down messianic character. But who cares? Here we go.
And it did. The other things that kind of bugged me were how much they were setting up a third one. It felt they were setting up like, especially that last shot. That's to lead to a third movie, which Denis Villeneuve says he's going to make in 10 years, which is weird.
I
can't wait.
I mean, I didn't read the book, so do they need to age people up for the third book without spoiling anything?
It takes place 15 years later. So
okay.
Aliyah, who is his sister, she's like 16. So she's a teenager. She's older on the teen side.
And they threw her in this movie.
Mid-30s.
Okay.
So, and they even compressed the timeline to 6 months. This is like the events in Dune Part 2 take place over 6 months. In the book, it's 3 years. And a lot.
No wonder. No wonder so much shit was skipped.
Like,
got it now.
They left this. And
Why not make 4 movies?
This new show that's a complete ripoff of Tuesday Night's Main Event and FNT called Versus. It's just a group show. It's a format. You get a lot of different opinions. So I wasn't trying to rip off FNT. I was just like, I want to get different opinions.
Rip it off. I don't care.
Yeah. Like Danica was on and Nerd Cookies.
It's not like I invented the panel show. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is like
Jennifer Lawrence did.
Jennifer Lawrence did. Thank you.
Jennifer Lawrence did that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you're a fan of the books, there's a lot of things. And it's like, but if you're not a fan of the books, you don't know what's not there. So Gary, I have to ask you, when you saw Lord of the Rings.
I disagree with the Chris Gore guy. You do notice things are missing. I don't know the books at all. I've seen bits and pieces of the old movie. Regardless of all of that, I still notice like there's things missing here. How come he's like here and now he's here? How come 4 weeks went by? How come his eyes are blue now? How come his love interest is in love with him after all he did was like these simple little tasks? How come the religious people are like, oh my God, our Messiah, he passed the test? Or were they like a couple little tasks instead of like storyline and showcasing how much he's starting to mean to people just by his expressions, his humanness? Whatever. I thought they were just obviously missing, regardless of book or movie. Old movie, I mean. Here you go.
But it's like,
I'm ended up doing like another review. I'm gonna shut up.
There's a lot of things, and it's like, but if you're not a fan of the books, you don't know what's not there. So Gary, I have to ask you, when you saw Lord of the Rings, and because I hear a lot of Lord of the Rings fans, and I'm like a normie, right? So when I watched Lord of the Rings, I'm like, that was effing amazing. And Two Towers, not my favorite. I know people say Return of the King, but Two Towers is just so. When
Two Towers is epic. Yes, I had.
Like, how did you feel
until the little monsters start talking?
Okay,
you don't want those guys talking. Stop it.
About Dune.
My expectations.
I'll get you, good guy. Like you don't want to hear that shit.
I saw the trailer and I wasn't super impressed with the trailers for some reason. Just being honest, I'm like, I had the lowest of expectations. I'm like, if we get a sci-fi level, and we're talking sci-fi back in early 2000 movie, like movie of the week version of Lord of the Rings, I'll be happy, quite frankly. And when I walked out of it, I was like, oh, Jesus, that's Star Wars. Like, we just saw something really fucking special. Was I disappointed? I'm not disappointed.
Star Wars is not special.
I just wasn't.
Sorry, Star Wars is not special. It's mediocre to me, in my opinion, my humble opinion. I know it came, it came. Oh fuck, this came out in the 70s. I get that part, but look at the writing, look at the story. Is it that good? Ask yourself, is it that good? I'm sorry to burst bubbles. I'll hit play. Sorry.
The Barrow Downs, yes. That was probably the most
Luke, I am your father. Oh my god! Like, is that revelation?
Like that? That's
sort
the
of
thing that bothered me the most.
revolutionary thing in film
Took
or
away from the movie.
storytelling
Watching this
blows you
movie,
away like that?
I've tried to get through the book 4 times. Once in prison.
But
Once
it's
in
Luke.
prison.
You only know that from
And
your
I couldn't
dad.
get through it in
Idiots.
prison. I'm like, I can't get through this book, dude.
Yeah.
That beginning is just so fucking boring. I'm sorry. Sorry, book fans. Can't do it. But if you love it, that's great. But I like the David Lynch version is with all its weirdness. I thought the TV show was fine, so I know enough about the story.
Know nothing of a TV show.
I thought it was fucking really good. Really good. Like 8 out of 10. Really good. My nitpicks are, I think the pacing in the beginning's a little slow. These are the only problems.
He says the pacing in the beginning of the movie is slow.
Get ready. Get ready. There you can still go.
I thought they skipped whole centuries in that first fucking 2/3 of the movie. I thought they were skipping centuries of fucking storytelling, actually. So, but I guess it went too slow for him.
In the first minutes when they just made them like the leaders, like it's like, how'd you get there?
This dude camped out in a desert, but here's some shit that's gonna wreck your mind. Paul Atreides, right? Timothy Chalamet, whatever the fuck his name is. He spent 2+ weeks in the desert on his own to prove himself. Do you guys remember that? Did you see that?
No.
Oh shit.
No. Off screen.
Oh, got it. 2 weeks where he's supposed to be proving himself, and we don't get to fucking see it. Insulting. Actually insulting to our intelligence. But, and I understand why, right? They're trying to get through this shit so they can get to the main part so they can make a third movie later on. And the ending was the end parts aren't the worst things ever to me, but they definitely had to speed through the beginning.
Well, it's like it doesn't land the same if there wasn't a build up that came before the ending.
Yeah.
Like, trust me, bro. He proved himself. Like, you need the struggle to overcome, right? Like otherwise you're just cruising.
Right. Let's listen to Nerdrotic.
Real quick, do you guys remember House of the Dragon?
Yeah.
That's like him saying that shit went too slow.
Yeah.
Why are they only skipping 2 years? They should skip like 5. Like, he's making that argument, right? Like, golly.
That's crazy.
All right, here we go. Let's hear the rest of his take.
Pacing in the
pacing
a little slow.
Shut up.
These are the only problems I have. Not enough Harkonnens. Yes, they had.
Agree with that.
Fade Rauta, and he was fucking Austin Butler and Javier Bardem fucking killed it. Like they were the movie. They stole the movie. People.
Austin Butler is. Well, we didn't get enough of him, and also I thought he was just Jared Leto from Suicide Squad.
What about Javier Bardem?
Kind
He was fine.
Comic relief things, right? Well, when you start skipping like us seeing the hero, or what people are telling me, like he's not a hero, he's just doing it for strategy. I'm like, fine, whatever. When we see the protagonist go through these tasks to achieve something, Javier, like if you skip out on them, Javier Bardem's reaction to it looks kind of cringy. Now, what'd they do for Paul Atreides in this movie, for Timothy Chalamet? They're like, hey man, ride this worm and prove that you're the Messiah. I swear to God, 10 minutes earlier we watched Javier Bardem riding a fucking worm. So why the fuck is he special? Like it's an eyesore, and they have to verbally explain why it's special. It's like, wow, that's a grandmother or grandfather fucking worm. Like they have to verbally explain it. Because the directors and writers know that if we see Javier Bardem riding a worm, 10 minutes later, we see Timothy Chalamet riding a worm, and they're like, "Oh my god, look at Timothy Chalamet fucking go!" It'll be an eyesore. They know that, so that they write in little dialogue things like, "Oh my god, he found the grandma worm, or the grandfather worm that's super duper big and super hard to ride." Like they had to like, come on, guys, are we this tricked by fucking cookies, man? Like, come on. Like, this is what's happening in film. We got tricked by that. Whatever. But no, he had some comic relief moments, Javier Bardem, and then the villain, the Austin Butler guy, Fade, whatever the fuck his last name is, the Fade Harkonnen, whatever. First of all, we didn't get enough of him, and the times I did see him, it's like canned. It's like canned villain shit, right? A guy who just slits the throats of the people around him, like, ugh. I just kill people because I just kill people. Like, whoa, oh my god. In the review, I compared this to the introduction to Joker in The Dark Knight, where it's like, his philosophy is on showcase when we first see the fucking Joker in the movie. That is writing your villain. That shit we just saw right there is just like, it's appealing to our own sensibilities of like, oh my god, you just kill someone without like feeling sad about it or angry about it. You just cold-blooded kill someone. That means you're a badass. That means you're like a crazy psychopathic guy. They're playing off our sensibilities, and it's lazy. It's lazy. Let's just keep playing this before I start downgrading the movie even more, bro. Like, how do people not get this shit?
I think
How do you miss out on this?
I think Nerdrotic's thinking is lazier. And he's about to show you why.
Fair enough. But I think he's right about the Harkonnens. We didn't get enough of them. All right, here we go.
You're about to disagree with him.
Problems I have. Not enough Harkonnens. Yes, they had
Agreed.
Fade Routha, and he was fucking Austin Butler and Javier Bardem fucking killed it. Like they were.
If this is the future of film, we're fucked.
People,
There's a story's missing, guys.
Like,
All right.
kind of became my favorite character because he was played so.
Wait. Sorry.
They were the movie. They stole the movie. People, Stilgart, like, kind of became my favorite character because he was played so fucking well.
Right.
So there's like great. And
I don't know who that is.
Timothy Chalamet was really fucking good in it. Zendaya's fucking terrible. She's terrible. She's like,
Oh, okay. Timothy Chalamet. Yeah, he's a good actor, man. Like, there's no denying that guy. Or most of the actors in this movie, you can't deny them. I just had a problem with fake Jared Leto from Suicide Squad. Like, I wish they gave him more screen time. Maybe he could showcase, but he's not a bad actor. I'm not going to call him a bad actor at all.
He was underutilized.
But to single out Zendaya out of all this is kind of crazy to me. What'd she do that was just so like an eyesore of acting?
I don't know what she did.
What's the eyesore of acting that she did? Like,
Listen,
clearly she stood out in a negative way. I'm like, where? Oh god, he's gonna freak my or whatever. Here we go.
He was really fucking good in it. Zendaya's fucking terrible. She's terrible. She's like a girl you pick. She's like, let's get a girl from a rom-com from California and put her in Dune. And it was a California girl in Dune, and it just didn't work. So
What?
Did you buy the romance? They had
California evil.
She's a girl from California. Well, Timothy Chalamet's a guy from The Dark Knight. It's called Christian Bale. He copies acting cadences. Like, let's be honest about that. Like, he's trying to do the dark, intense thing. There's weird dialogue that he does as well. I don't know. Like, I can see an argument for that as far as maybe her vocal patterns. Kinda. But, like, they all had weird vocal things and weird dialogue. Josh Brolin had some weird dialogue in this movie. Javier Bardem was over the top in certain cases, but I think that's them telling him to do that, to be like the overly like religious zealot type of guy. Timothy Chalamet, I think there's moments where he's over the top, where I think he was directed to do that, where it's like he's having a normal conversation with his mom, and then he just screams out of nowhere. I'm like, okay. And then the voice modulator on him was also kind of weird when he turns like when when he takes over, right? When he has the Emperor, like Emperor's like Christopher Walken's like, "Oh fuck, you got me," and Timothy Chalamet's like screaming to the crowd and shit like that. Well, no. Actually, this is before that. This is when he was supposed to kill Javier Bardem in some sort of duel to prove something, but Timothy Chalamet's like, "I'm not doing that." He just takes control of the crowd, which is a decent, pretty cool moment. All right, I'll give you that. But there was a voice modulator. Like, it sounds like a voice modulator. Like, your voice doesn't sound like that, bro. I'm like, okay. But as far as, like, Zendaya's, I guess, her voice, not her acting, not her physical presence, and not her movements or anything like that, said Valley Girl or California Girl. Maybe her voice a little bit, but did it take you out of the movie at all? Not even a little bit.
I don't even think the guy on the right agrees with him. He's just too scared to say otherwise.
Yeah, fair enough. But this is a leap upon leaps. Is this personal? Does he have like a thing with Zendaya? I don't even know if
It
I'm
could
saying her
be-
name right. Go ahead.
It could be because of the end, like
I don't know.
the position that they put her in at the end.
I guess he doesn't like Zendaya.
But what's she do in this movie that's so egregious? Like,
I don't know.
you hear little
Well,
accent things, but so.
All right, they're not spoiling it, but we could spoil it. We already did, right?
Yeah.
So-
yeah.
So I think because in the end, she seems like she's like the good character, right? Like the good person that's gonna be like the main leading thing. And she's a woman. So
Well,
no,
she's good throughout. When Timothy Chalamet or Paul Atreides starts becoming like a little more morally like, is this guy a good guy or a bad guy?
She remains the same.
She's one of the few that stands against him. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
this, which is like cool for a character. Okay, fine, cool.
Mhm.
If that's the case, Jesse, what you're saying there, if it's because she stays morally consistent, throughout the movie,
and is the woman, right? Like if
yeah.
it was the guy, more inconsistent, he's the hero. That's fine.
But like he says like California girl voice, but they use voice modulators for Timothy Chalamet. So I'm like, is that okay? Is that cool? And there's nothing. Once again, there's nothing in Zendaya's voice that made me like, oh my god, her voice. Even when we first watched it, was I like, oh my god, her voice? It's so California sounding. Who's thinking that way and who's hearing? Like, I don't know. Maybe he heard something. He's from California, I think, so maybe he hears that thing and it bothers him. But I hear plenty of British people that you can hear the little Britishness when they talk in a movie, but they're still good actors. Whatever. All right, let's. I think this guy's gonna make a counter or something like that. I don't know.
He is not.
He is not. R2D2 background. All right, here we go.
Let's get a girl from a rom-com from California and put her in Dune.
She's
It was a
talented, bro.
California
You
girl
can't
in
deny
Dune.
her
They just
talent,
didn't.
bro,
So
because you
she
don't
can-
like her.
Yeah.
Did you buy the romance? They had no chemistry.
No,
I agree
no.
there.
That's another thing is I think
No
Megan.
chemistry.
Okay, no chemistry. I agree with that, but they didn't. They also didn't write it into the movie
No, they didn't. No.
to give him a chance for that thing.
It's like, how do you not point that out? It's like, no chemistry. Like, no shit.
Exactly. He goes from riding some fucking worm to them naked in the sack. Like, and it's like, well, how do you build chemistry with that type of cutting? All right. Someone brought it up where there's probably like 30 minutes on the cutting room floor right now. 30 minutes cut out of this movie. And I think it was mainly in the first hour and a half because they let the kind of the third act. They kind of let it run, which is the best part of the movie. We get the whole speech where they slow things down. They go at a good, nice slow pace that we hang on to every word that Timothy Chalamet is about to say or Paul Atreides is about to say. Like that was beautiful, and there's a message there to it. I'm like, oh, interesting. But the first hour and a half, man, there's some little like political looking things, like the Iraq War looking shit, right? There's some political things there here and there. It's a little bit of mysticism, quote unquote, here and there. But as far as the plot goes, there's a lot of fucking just skips, time jumps. You already heard me say it. I'll just keep playing. Let's hear the film fans
California girl in Dune, and it just didn't work.
rebuttal.
So
Did
she.
you find the romance? They had no chemistry. to
No, no, that's another thing. Is I think Mega Geek out there had the best. This is what again 8 out of 10 movie. I'm gonna see it for a third time. I think. It's be the best movie of the year. Clinical.
I might watch this movie
Of
again.
the year?
Clinical, and I'm like,
Best movie of the year.
It is February. Best movie of this year so far. I can't go by what I've seen this year, but straight up movies that come out this year.
Yeah, I can't believe what's coming out. This is the best movie we're gonna get of the year.
Yeah, that'd be a sad year for me. For me. Granted, there's parts I like, but is it epic? No. Is it even Eileen? It's not. Sorry, it's not.
It's not even like it's not. It's not the best.
Yeah, no.
Not the best.
It can't be. It can't. It
It's
literally can't be. Just if it is, there's something terribly wrong happened.
not the best this month. It's not the best we've seen that day. Like it's just terrible.
It is what it is. Something else you said.
this is what again 8 out of 10 movie. I'm gonna see it for a third time.
Yeah, okay, that was just a little side note. I might watch this movie once again, and it'll probably be right before the third one comes out. Otherwise, I had no reason to go rewatch this movie. If I did, I would skip the first hour and a half and go to the last third of the movie. That's it. There we go.
I think it'll probably be the best movie of the year. Clinical. He used the word clinical, and I'm like, yes, it's a little clinical. There's not enough characters that I could that I really wanted to root for and stuff. So if anybody wants to compare
Fair
it
enough,
to Lord of the Rings,
but you gotta explain that one to me.
Because
I could agree with that if he means what I think he means, but I don't know if he means that at all. So, Lord of the Rings, why are we doing that? That's a full, complete trilogy. We're still in the second movie, and I think whatever. Here we go.
Lord of the Rings don't, because Lord of the Rings goes like 10 characters deep that you care about.
Does X-Ray Girl talk at all?
Yeah, maybe one.
Or
She
just
did earlier. She did earlier.
It was
Okay.
In the video.
10 out of 10.
Is she single?
Fucking 10 out of 10.
Uh-huh.
Like for 120.
I let her X-ray me.
it is a
X-ray my
cinematic
bones.
movement. You have to see this.
Sorry,
You have
YouTube.
to see this in IMAX.
It's a joke. It's a joke,
Fucking-
guys.
It's
Hello?
awesome. Especially if you love sci-fi, the ships look fucking great. Everything looked great.
Oh.
Everything looked great.
Oh, I need to hear that
You
again.
have to see this in IMAX. It's fucking. It's
Okay, you have to see this in IMAX. Okay.
awesome. Especially if you
It's
like
awesome.
sci-fi, the ships look fucking great. Everything looked great.
Especially if you like sci-fi, it looked. Here's what it looked like. It looked amazing. It looked great. It looked. Like, come on, man. The same guy made Arrival, by the way. It's where
Yeah,
I'd
he did.
be doing way less talking about the fucking looks and more about the storytelling. I'm like, this movie's fucking awesome. It feels like the first hour and a half we're skipping just to get to the last third, which was pretty. It was all right. It was pretty good. I'll give them credit for that. As we're rewatching it, I'm like, this is not bad. The first hour and a half just took me so far out of the fucking movie that I missed it through the first viewing. Yeah, looks, aesthetics, yet it's being called masterpiece, and no one has yet to blow my fucking mind. No pause. Blow my imagination. I'm like, fuck, you missed out on this, Jordan? How the fuck? I need to rewatch it another time to figure it out. Like, no one's done that to this moment. There we go.
Especially if you love sci-fi, the ships look fucking great. Everything looked great. Everything looked great.
Yep.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I like now after watching it twice. I'm kind of sticking with I like the world building from the first one. My problem with the first one was how it ended. And Zendaya. And my problem with this one is little pacing. And the battle
Too
at the
slow.
end. It's not a
I
big
feel like
battle. I kept on hearing 2 towers, and I'm like, It's 5
No.
minutes.
Well,
Agreed.
That's coming from like people like
I agree with that. The Harkonnens are wiped out so fucking quickly. That's just like, why are you here in the first place? Wipe them out.
Chase Randolph, who
I know.
Okay, how much more, Anthony?
Damn. I was gonna say, give me like 4 more minutes.
4 more? Fine. There we go.
I know, but like I was expecting something a little longer than that.
it felt
He wanted longer action
all
scenes and
that
less
buildup, and
explanation
after
of
that, it
story.
seems like they
Keep
rushed
that
it.
noted,
Like,
fans.
all these things have to happen, so we're just gonna have them.
All the fans saying like, no, he's into like more storytelling. So like, he wanted more longer expression of the Harkonnens going down, right? Which I agree with that. But he wanted shorter, where they're even their minimal attempts to give me story and tell me of how this guy's developing and how their love relationship is developing and how the perception of him being a messiah is developing. He wants less of that, a shorter version of that. It went too slow for him. It's like, you tell me, man. These people tell like, oh, he liked this movie or he liked that movie. So what? He likes this movie, and what is he asking for? More action, less story. Golly. And they could be intertwined. Fair enough, but here we go.
Happen quickly. There was no. What's amazing about Two Towers is there is a story to the battle.
Yes.
And there are characters.
Thank you.
There are
Yes, they could be intertwined.
Sub B stories to the battle, where it's like the whole battle itself. I'm talking about the second half of Two Towers, which I feel like I just need to watch.
What did I say? What did I say when we watched this? I'm like, this should probably be like 4 movies instead of 3.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it like that. And I feel like they didn't build a story on the battle, right? They could have done that where I felt it needed that battle should have been probably 20 minutes longer with B stories in this. And we
okay, never mind. I disagree with it. This is ass backwards thinking.
This character has a goal. And
this is ass backwards.
Like there just wasn't. And with Two Towers did that so well, where the whole battle itself has like stories and layers and B stories and this and people we care about and the geography of it, which Peter Jackson did so well. So it's like we're here, we're in the middle of this.
You knew where you are. You knew how much time was passing.
Yes.
They introduced the hero in like 6 minutes, and you know everything you need to know.
That is fair enough with the Two Towers point, but you need all of it. Unless you're, once again, just looking for the action scenes, you do need all of it. We need to know who's here, why are they here, why are they fighting?
Yeah.
Why are they fighting? Who are the main features of this fight? Who's the favorite and who's the underdog? You need that. And once again, your hero characters need to have a wealth of fucking like. They need a backpack of fucking story with them while they're doing these things, because there needs to be a threat when the hero's threatened, right? It's like, oh shit, Jon Snow's about to fucking die. Oh, he just evaded it. Oh shit, because he's important. So these things need to be there, which didn't take place before all this giant battle thing. We didn't get enough, once again, of the Harkonnens. Right? They end up just being stormtrooper goons that just get wiped away. Even Batista's character, he's barely in the movie. We can see a couple scenes where he's like he's like a baby almost. He's like, He like smashes some guy's head on a fucking panel. He's like, fucking ranting and like. I think he whoops actually like a dog. The other Fade Harkonnen, whatever his name is. Not enough of him to where I care about it. I just see Jared Leto Joker. That's all I say there. Now there's story for Paul, obviously, who's leading the fucking revolution against the Harkonnens and the revenge tour against the Harkonnens. And some of Josh Brolin. I think Josh Brolin got enough time for what his character's supposed to be providing for us. And then if you add the first movie in, then yeah, you'll see why he's doing what he's doing. You'll see his motives and all that shit. But fuck, I wish I wish those hero moments for Paul Atreides was much more grander and bigger, and took their time more. I don't mean time as in like runtime. I mean time as in we're carefully constructing a fucking narrative and story about this guy instead of just doing a checklist of fucking hero things he has to do. I don't know. It's just me. But I half agree with them, half disagree. You should put all your eggs in the basket of the battle. Like, no. Everything has to come before it, before you reach there. There you go.
About their culture, about the main characters, everything. They just it's a masterclass in how you do that. Now, it's not fair to compare Dune to the greatest trilogy ever made. But as far as
let's not go there. But you're a dweeb and a nerd and shit like that. I get it. Right? You want. I mean, granted, Lord of the Rings, you cannot. It's not something you turn your brain off for at all. It's not a turn your brain off trilogy at all. There are intricate stories about morality and existentialism, and the heroes playing a role or playing a certain role when the smallest guys are doing something else. Like they're the actual kind of heroes of it. The guys who can't fight and can't do backflips and can't do this or that, but they hold such a responsibility that the other heroes that can do all that shit, they can't carry with them. Right? They all can't carry the ring. It's just it's Frodo and Sam and all that shit. Fair enough. Like there's a decent amount of storytelling there, for sure. But as far as the definition of a fucking hero in film, good God, The Dark Knight fucking wins for me. But that could just be taste, right? If you're into
comic books,
if you're into buddy cop movies, they're turned into like a fantasy trilogy. Then yeah, go watch Lord of the Rings. I say watch all of it, but that's just okay. That's me nitpicking. That's just chooser's choice at that point. But The Dark Knight is just too much. It's too serious and adult, and it grabs too much at my sensibilities. It does. For Lord of the Rings to even fucking touch it. Lord of the Rings can't touch the fucking Matrix for me. But it's just different tastes. Fair enough. See the bat signal behind both of them? Like, huh. What's the greatest trilogy? Huh? What
yeah,
Oh, and just filmmaking, it's not even close. It's fucking Dark Knight. It's not even close. It's filmmaking wise. Heard about your fandom or the lore or whatever the fuck you're into. Just as films, the first two, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, wash any of those fucking movies away. It's not even fucking close. Like, you need The Godfather to start stepping into the ring to like keep up with that shit, bro. The first and second Godfather, need those motherfuckers like. Otherwise, like, good luck. Good luck finding a rival to those things. But all right, here we go.
To compare Dune to the greatest trilogy ever made. But as far as like a film made in modern era, absolutely one of the best sci-fi movies of the last 10 years, without a doubt, without even.
Interstellar was made in the last 10 years.
Interstellar, Arrival.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like, are you kidding me? There's great movies. It's better. Those three movies are better than this movie. 150.
I know we're missing one too.
We probably are.
I know.
As far as sci-fi, forget about films. Just sci-fi. We might be missing one or two in there. I just can't think of them right now. But those three movies, 100%. This movie's not even close to them. Nowhere near them. In my humble opinion. How much more, Anthony? How much more can I take?
I think let's just hear the last comment he makes, and then I think that's a good place to end it.
All right, here we go.
Even fucking close. And yeah, I think I've seen Nerd Cookie's reaction. I've seen your reaction. A lot of people are a little upset with the book stuff, but you know what? That can come through to somebody who hasn't read
source material.
But that being said, like I was engaged in the story, and I definitely wasn't bored watching it again. And I'll go and
with
watch
that
it
damn
again
California accent
where you have to see it.
from a happen to be black girl.
to go see it in IMAX. This is a theater experience. Like, even if you have a pretty fucking good home theater, it's not going to do it justice.
No,
This thing was made for a massively huge screen.
I'll give him that last comment. Come on, you need story. Like, bro, I know there's fucking technicians in the background making these things, right? They're making certain aesthetics look like certain aesthetics, right? We know that. There's certain CGI, there's certain money involved that can get better tech than someone else who can't get that money to make a movie. That's why I never leave it up to fucking the way the movie looks. Obviously, I don't want egregious hand puppets, right? I want something like something taste-worthy, but you can't leave it up to
to
that.
make it the end all be all. That's also not right.
That's not right at all. And I'm not saying he's saying that, but that's all his argument amounted to. Like, honestly, it's maybe because it's spoiler free. Is that why he can't like explain?
Well, if you look at it like all right, you want to say it's nitpicking. If you really look into what he's saying, it boils down to it looked amazing, but I wish there was more of this. I wish there was more of that. I wish this character wasn't here. It's like it's like you have a lot of complaints about the plot. It just happens that you care more about the visuals.
Seemingly so. Even
or or it takes such a precedent that you forgive.
I mean, even his complaint about the end battle scene with the Harkonnens, like even that sounds more like you want to see a CGI fest of fucking soldiers and warriors all fighting and killing each other, which is just a CGI fucking thing. CGI or action direction, visual thing. Even though they you do need story for it, and I think they said that. I'll give them credit there, but I mean,
well, you would want to It's like I don't know. Everyone's different, but like you would want to pinpoint what's this guy's evaluation of narrative.
yeah,
That's just a rule. That's just a rule for reviewing films.
yeah.
Where does narrative fall into his equation? Because it does not seem like it's a high priority here.
Pause. I need a measuring stick. Pause. I need to
Yeah,
see like something where you can explain one story that you really love, and then I can use that to like judge it against other things that you've judged before.
Yeah, exactly.
And sorry, you saying the Star Wars trilogy is not going to cut it for me. Sorry, because you put that in the same around the same lane as the Lord of the Rings. I think the Lord of the Rings just towers over Star Wars, bro. Star Wars ain't shit compared to Lord of the Rings. The Peter Jackson trilogy, it's nowhere fucking. Star Wars is nowhere fucking near it as far as story. Now maybe nostalgia, or maybe you just enjoyed the
epicness.
Yes, exactly.
There was an epicness to those movies, but yeah, it's a very childish fucking plot.
Well, what's beneath the surface? The Force? George still can't explain the fucking Force.
Yeah, he fucked it up too.
He still can't.
He can't even explain to you what's the criteria to be a Jedi.
Exactly. So, like, as far as the underpinnings go, like, where are they? I don't know. But, all right. There's our review of the review from Nerdrotic, Chris Gore, and Kinda X-Ray Girl of Dune Part 2.